Hi, my name is Suzan McDowell, and I am the president and CEO of Circle of One Marketing. I started this show on community newspapers. Thank you, Michael Miller, for inviting me. And this is my 5th show, so I'm kind of getting the hang of it. So it's August, it's hot. We're ready to go back to school, and I personally believe, because I raised my daughter with the arts, that the arts really changes things. We did performing arts, plays, dance, theater, all of that. So I'm so grateful that I am able to participate in the arts and have a company that is able to handle so many art kinds of clients. That said, I am actually here with 2 of my clients, and they both have artistic programs that have been funded by the Children's Trust, and they are their youth development grants. One of them is focusing on using dance and math, and the other one is focusing on coming up with some really awesome artistic programs for kids that are super unusual, especially for kids in Opelika. So thank you so much. I decided to name the show in the studio with Suzanne. If you don't like that, you let me know. Beverly thinks I should call it Unplugged with Suzanne. So, or I think it should be called Irreverent with Suzanne. But whatever I call it, thank you so much for letting me come and talk to you some more. And I will introduce you to Camila Gill. Camila Gill is the executive director of Armour Dance Theater. We have been their marketing agency for about 6 years. Yep. 6 or 7 years, yep. And then we also have the beautiful and talented Nakia Bowling, who is the Youth Development Director for 10 North Group, which is also our client. And we've been with 10 North Group for about 10 years. Wow. So we're going to start our regular routine where we just kind of try to get nosy, get all up in your grill. So, Ms. Camila, start from the beginning. I was born, and then what happened?
So I was born in Bogota, Colombia. And I grew up there until I was about 11 years old. And then my family and I emigrated into Miami. And dance has always been something that I've loved. I begged my mom to enroll me in music classes, and she finally did when I was 8, which, if you are familiar with the dance art form, sounds crazy, but that's kind of late to start.
8 is late?
8 is a little late. Kids start from the time they're like 2.
What?
So by 8, that's like the second year of academic training, where you really begin to build your technique and just memorizing muscle memory of movement and placement of your body. But thankfully, she enrolled me. She listened to me finally. And just as I was beginning to really excel in classical ballet, which was my interest and passion, we moved. And so we got here to Miami. To Miami.
Oh, where were you before?
Bogota, where I was born.
So, okay, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Go, because you got here when you were 11.
Yes.
So 8, Bogota, 11, I'm back.
Yes,
I'm back with you.
Back,
I'm here.
Back.
I'm here.
So we moved, and, as a newly immigrated family, we didn't really have the opportunity for my parents to spend a lot of money in extracurricular activities. And through word of mouth, my mom heard about Armour Dance Theater, which back in the day was named Miami Conservatory. More recently, Thomas Armour Youth Ballet, and as of 2 years ago, with your amazing help, rebranded into Armour Dance Theater.
Richard McCulloch, thank you very much. Shout out to Richard McCulloch.
Him and Addison Fonte, I have to say, our marketing director.
Marketing geniuses.
So anyway, my mom found Ruth, our artistic director and founder of our community programs, and I got a scholarship, and that made it possible for me to continue my dance education here in the States. And so I grew up dancing. In high school, I realized that in order to become the professional dancer I dreamed of being, something had to give, either academics or like really rigorous dance training. And so I went the academic route. So I stopped dancing at that point. Oh, wow. But I stayed engaged with Armour Dance. I volunteered after school. In college, I started doing data entry. And over the years, my role just grew. And now I'm the executive director. So I'm honored to have the role.
I did not know you started in data entry. Really, you started in ballet, but you started in data entry?
Yeah. Actually, the first year that Ruth got trust funding, all of this data, like, related tasks were dropped on us. Yeah. We had no idea how to manage all of the data that had to be collected, reported, tracked, analyzed in order to maintain our grant funding.
Grants, yes.
And
so you got into that
Yes.
grant world. It's so stressful.
Yeah. So then I was literally just collecting the registration forms, entering. Back then it was called Sammy's. Now it's Trust Central. And that's how I started. That's how my administrative duties started with the organization.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 12 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Now you're the executive director, which she was just announced like 2 years. What? No, last year?
2021.
2021 executive director, and then the rebranding. So.
Yes.
All right. Well,
So,
now
thank you.
we're off to Miss Nakia. Tell us, start from the beginning.
First, I love the fact that this is like a 360 story for you. You
Yes.
started out, and then now you're running the whole shop. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Extreme kudos. So I was born, and then the world was great. That's it.
That's it. And now we can all go home. Come on, you guys. Let's all leave. Let's all go home.
No, I'm actually a relic here. I'm a Miami native. I
What?
was born in Miami at Jackson Memorial Hospital, like a real
Like
Miami.
a real Miami. Well, there's 4 of us in the room. Let's see a show of hands who people who were born in Miami.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, that was 1 person out of 4. 25% of us were born in Miami. Jamaica,
Colombia.
Colombia.
Fort Lauderdale.
Same thing. Okay, all right. Go ahead.
And spent part of my childhood here and in South Carolina. Went back to school in South Carolina. Graduated from South Carolina State University. My first life is actually in journalism. My degree is in journalism. So I was
That's
a
how we met.
journalist for many years, both here and in D.C. And then I got into a nonprofit. It's been like 25 years now.
What?
But, yeah, so it's been 25 years now. So that's how I made my way into nonprofit, particularly working with youth programs I've been working with for the last 18 years. And what is so crucial for me is that I had the amazing opportunity to grow up in arts. I graduated from Miami Northwestern's Payback program. Before that, I was at New World School of the Art. For
Oh, wow.
theater.
You went to New World.
So, art has always been enriched in my blood. I grew up in unincorporated Miami-Dade, so access to these programs, particularly for children of color, have sometimes been very limited. And
Absolutely.
I know how it enriched my life, and I see how it enriches my own daughter's life. And so I wanted that same type of enrichment activity for the people in our community in Opelika and Miami Gardens, those unincorporated Miami-Dade, and the North End. I really wanted them to have access to quality programming, but also out-of-the-box programming, right? Things that you would see in affluent private schools. There's no reason that our kids can't have that type of enrichment. And so that was my goal when thinking of how are we going to scrap down our current youth program and really build something that had some strong foundation in the arts.
Well, I couldn't agree more with what you're saying, and I think what's so valuable about the arts is the life skills that it builds.
Oh, my God.
So it's
So
really
much.
beyond what they're learning in the dance classroom or in the music classroom, but it's more about all of the life skills that they gain through that and that we've gained through that, that then get applied into real life things.
Yeah, the discipline. I remember when we first started working with you, the discipline and, all the things that, that go into, becoming a professional dancer. Like the things that it forces you to do. It forces you as the delayed gratification in order to get to a place. And those are the kinds of things that you need in order to kind of make it through no matter what you do. But if you are able to, mask it through dance, then that's great. So
Yeah, absolutely.
so one of the reasons, the reason that we're here is that both of these organizations have been able to have put in grants and received grants from the Children's Trust, $7.5 million, $4.5 million. You're a slacker. I'm kidding. $4.5 million a lot of money for kids in both sides of the county to be able to jump into these artistic endeavors. And so I wanted each of you to talk about your programs. I love both programs. So because I'm both your publicists, because I'm both your publicists, I know the story. I'll let you tell it. So Camila, tell us about the 5th location for Armour Dance Theater.
Yeah, so we have after school and summer camp programs that the Children's Trust have been supporting for the past about 12 years. We are actually cross county. We're in the north, in Miami Gardens and Little Haiti, and we now have 3 sites in the south. So we are at Pine Villa, which is Gould's area, and Miami Heights and South Miami Heights. South Miami Heights is our newest site that we are launching today.
Yes.
First day of school.
Mazel tov.
We are so excited to be reaching more children in the South. We know that there's so much need in that area of the county. And what we do is essentially we use dance to engage the students and to give them those life skills, but we also combine academic support, homework assistance, social emotional learning, and parent engagement to really give a holistic approach to the way that we are supporting elementary age students who otherwise wouldn't have the ability to experience this type of high quality programming. So all of our instructors are professional teaching artists. They're Florida certified teachers for the academic components. And in addition to that, we have an amazing support team at each site that focuses on the safety and just behavior management and parent engagement of the day-to-day operations of the program. So our academic component is literacy. We're launching math this year thanks to this new funding cycle. And then we have, like I mentioned, homework assistance every day to make sure that the kids are, having the assistance that they need. Many of them don't have households whose parents are able to sit down with them every day after school to complete homework. And we know how important that additional support is, whether it's because the English is not their first language and they're just not able to help, or they're working 2 jobs and just not able to be there and do that type of activity with their kids after school. We come in and we offer that support.
Yeah.
For the past few years, we've been tracking our reading progress, and we know that by the end of the year, the kids that participate in our program are reading at grade level or above.
Wow.
And so we're hoping to see the same types of achievements with our newly launched math component. And the last piece, which I think is so special and makes our program very unique, is that we are partnering with Healthy Connections to offer a mental health component.
Oh,
so
awesome.
back in 2020,
So important.
we realized the level of childhood trauma that so many of our kids are experiencing or have experienced. And we've been learning that in order for the kids to learn and for us to be able to even teach dance or math or literacy, they need to feel safe. And their brain needs to be primed to learn. And if they're in this scared mode,
Like a fight or flight trauma,
yes, thank
always
you.
a trauma.
They're not ready to learn. They're
No.
just on
They're
defense
like,
mode.
They're trying to just make
Yes.
their heart stop fluttering. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So of course.
And so we're focusing on our staff being able to really meet their needs and create safe space. And through our group talk, which is our mental health component activity, offer a type of group therapy that is, that meets the needs of the students while also not scaring families away, because mental health and the word therapy still
Yeah.
carry a lot of negative connotation to
Especially
them.
for the minority communities. 'cause
Absolutely.
The South Miami Heights Elementary is about 74% Hispanic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know, South Florida, Hispanic is so many different things. Argentinian, Venezuelan, Colombiana, Cuban. So it's
Cubans,
a lot
yeah.
of different things. So it's a lot of different, especially the Latin American countries and the Caribbean countries they're like, mental health? What are you talking about?
Does not
Get
exist.
over it.
Yeah.
So absolutely, absolutely. So that's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
I am excited. I know we have some other PR, some other media things that we're going to do next week. So we're going to be able to see somebody get dance training. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I might try to do some dance training myself. So
You're always welcome.
Thank you very much. So this is South Miami-Dade, and again, the Children's Trust has funded South Miami-Dade. So we swing north to North Miami-Dade, we have 10 North Group, also right here. 10 North Group is formerly the Opelika Community Development Corporation. It's really done 40 plus years of work in Opelika in the fields of real estate development, financial wellness, business development, youth and family services, and then most recently this grant that I got to tell you, I read Nakia's grant. I was like, wait, what? Because it's been so long that she, we were working on youth development. I forgot she was actually one of my journalists for Jazz in the Gardens way back in the
Wow.
day. So I'm reading this grant, and I'm like, oh, it's so beautifully written. I was like, because, you think grants are going to be boring. I'm reading this. I'm like, I want to do these things. So what Nakia has done is she's put together this program of super unusual. Some of them are standard or traditional, but some of them are really unusual. So tell them about the one that we love the most.
Yes. So I wanted something that was truly engaging that our community could really be engulfed in. And so we added Silk Aerial. So people are...
Oh my God.
Like Cirque du Soleil and that whole thing.
That's amazing.
Like pink, pink desert pink Aerial.
We are super excited to see Black and brown kids doing Silk Aerial. That's one of the components that we wanted to add, but just because it also builds discipline and builds strength. It
And
also
core.
builds this mindset of trusting and building a rapport with the instructor, because you have to trust them. I've done Silk Aerial, and it is scary at first, but it is really a cool discipline. You build this trust and like you can do it, right? And so I wanted to do something that was really out of the box that they probably never done before. And so we added Silk Aerial. We're very fortunate to have Next Generation Dance and Art.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Can we go back to Silk Aerial?
Yes.
Because I don't know if people really know what that is. Silk Aerial is, you see those people up on they got silk wrapped around their legs and they're flipping and they're doing all that stuff. 2 pieces of silk attached to some sort of grounding element, and they literally learn how to spin up and down with these silk ropes or silk. That's crazy.
You guys have this at your facility?
Yes, we will have it. We'll have the mobile units.
Wow.
But we're also going to teach them how to do it from trees as well. So that
Oh
we
my
incorporate
God.
nature.
That's amazing.
And
No
they
way.
get to get outside. So I'm
You're so smart. I love you
super
so much.
excited about silk.
This is
It's like,
amazing.
if I had to pick a favorite, it would be probably that. But
And what are the qualifications for a Silk Aerial instructor?
so we
That
are.
might be my next.
Yeah, no. So we are using instructors that have been trained and certified in that particular skill set. And so, we've used them in the past. We've done classes with them, adult classes, I mean. And so I went to them and I was like, hey, I really want to do this for kids, and I know that kids can do it because my daughter's been in it since she was 4.
Oh, wow.
So she's
Zoe does Silk Aerial?
and
Of course
so
she does.
it with them. And
Overachieving child that you have.
Thank you. And so they are top notch. They have a mobile units that, but we're purchasing all of the mobile units, so they'll remain stationary at the sites that chose Silk Aerial, because we have more than just one discipline that they can choose from. We have podcasting, we have photography, and new age photography, but also old school. They'll go into a dark room, actually develop film.
That's amazing.
So I'm super excited about that as well. We have visual arts, all types of mediums they'll learn about. And also, because we're so entrenched, our organization, with using art to revitalize communities, they'll also learn the behind the scene, how to curate an exhibit, how to look at different art pieces. They'll be able to interact with our curator, who is one of the top in the world, right? Like they'll be able to interface with our massive collection that we have as an organization as well. So I'm super excited about the arts
amazing.
too.
And are these for elementary all the way through high school, or do you guys
We do
focus-
from 4th through 8th grade.
Okay.
So we're
Nice.
in elementary and in middle
Nice.
school. And we too incorporated a mental health component. We're very fortunate to also receive funding from the trust to fund the Family and Neighborhood Support Partnerships.
Okay.
So we have a licensed therapist on
That's amazing.
hand that will be working with them. Jasmika is a licensed family therapist. And she actually helped me build this program because we really wanted to work on mindfulness with the students. So 20 minutes out of the first day every day is mindfulness. We're getting all the teachers trained in mindfulness training and breathing and just centering them. And so we are super excited about that. We, of course, have the academic support as well. In addition to every day doing homework assistance, we also have available, where we've coupled with our other grant, individual tutoring for those students that require not in a group setting, just one-on-one.
Yeah.
We
so
have that
crucial.
available at no cost, of course, to the family. I'm super excited about parent orientation because we have them set up in September, the first week in September, and they will walk a day in the life of their child. And after
So
school,
moms and the dads gonna be
they're
doing
going to
Silk
be, the demonstration will be to show them what will happen during the program. They will be learning the stuff that their kids learn in like 10-minute intervals for the 2 hours that we're there.
Like
That's so fun.
So
That's
they'll
so
get a
fun.
sample of what their
Awesome.
what their kids will be learning. I'm super excited about that. So
I think it's so amazing that over the last few years, so many organizations have finally realized the importance of mindfulness.
Oh my God, yes.
We also incorporate our social emotional learning component is sort of, we call it the umbrella that everything else falls under. We do meditation in the dance room. We do breathing and tapping in the academic rooms. We do gratitude practice. And we really have seen the rewards of instilling that sense of ownership to reactions and knowing that the kids have the power to regulate their emotions.
It's just more understanding of themselves.
Yeah. And I think that we have really seen a shift in both our staff and the kids in enjoying it, in liking it, and then seeing the benefits that it brings. So I love that you guys also incorporate mindfulness into your programs.
It is crucial. You can't move forward unless you're centered, right?
Yeah.
And that's our whole
thing.
premise right now is because they're distracted all day.
Yep.
They come with them. I always try to keep in mind we don't know what they came to school with, right?
Yeah,
and
anything
we
could have
don't know
happened over
what
the
they're
weekend.
dealing with at home and school, and just to have that moment that's dedicated to their well-being, their safe space where they just get to breathe and do nothing.
Yeah.
Just relax and become one with themselves. So we rolled it out as a pilot during the summer, and it was just amazing.
And it's harder than you would think. And sometimes it's harder for the staff because I feel like kids still have that joy of living in the moment, like organically. But our staff and ourselves, like, we have to lead by example. And so we always ask our staff, like, if it's time for gratitude journaling, like, you're doing it too.
doing it as well.
You're not, like, on your phone or walking around or, taking care of this. Like, you are stopping everything to do it for yourself and for them to watch you do it. And it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
But 20 minutes away from adulting, because adulting is the worst. I hate adulting.
It's so ghetto.
so ghetto. And it's rude.
Said being an adult was the thing to do. It is not.
Terrible. Like, what do you mean a cell phone bill? Shut up. So I know adulting is very annoying. So I agree with you. So, well, you know what? I'm so proud of the both of you and both programs. The other thing I wanted to just say about 10 North Group is, as I was rattling off the litany of things that 10 North Group does, I forgot about one of the most important things, which is the art of transformation.
Yes.
So the art of transformation
Inspired my whole love.
Yes. So the 10 North Group, formerly OLCDC, created the art of transformation 10 years ago. I think now it's actually 11 years ago, to basically bring the arts to Opelika and use art to transform communities. So then your inspiration was?
From last year, we had the honor of being an official part of Art Basel. Wow. And yeah, so it was amazing. And I had the opportunity to bring some of the kids that we were working with, because the trust previously funded our STEM program. It was all STEM, to Opelika, to look at the art, to be a part of the art, but not only that, to do art, and their art became an official part of Art Basel too.
That's incredible.
They were able to activate a tent, but it was so important for me to make sure that they had the opportunity to experience art in their backyard. They didn't have to go to Wynwood to get it. They didn't have to go to Miami Beach. They came to 33054 and they saw some of the world's most prolific art. And not only that, they saw themselves on the wall, which was the most important thing to me. The little girl just walked up and said, "Oh my God, this looks like my grandmother." Like, she could identify and touch art in her community, in her backyard. It was
goosebumps.
It
That's
was amazing for me, and that set a spark in me that has not been able to be put out or anything. I was like, I want this all year long for our kids, and
aha moment.
I am just so thankful to the trust that they funded this initiative. Some of the things were out of the box. We came from completely 6 years of STEM based only and coding, so it was definitely new territory for us. We'd done smaller art camps, but 270 kids now a year. So I'm so excited about it. Like, I can't even express it in the right words, but I'm extremely excited for what our kids are about to get
into. So that actually reminds me a little bit of ADT's story. So their artistic director, Ruth Wiesen, was tell the story quickly. We got 3 minutes. Tell us.
So back in the 80s, Ruth transitioned from being a nurse to being a ballet teacher at Armour Dance Theater, back then Miami Conservatory, and they were doing light demonstrations at different schools in the community, demonstrations. I'm sorry, and so that's when you take a class to any stage and you teach class, and people get to just watch what a dance class is like. So she was at a school, and there was a little girl in the audience who was watching in awe, and Ruth approached her and she said, "Do you like it?" And she said, "Yeah, I love it." And Ruth said, "Well, why don't you dance? You should dance." And she said, "I can't do that." And Ruth said, "Well, why not?" And she said, "Because ballet is only for white girls." And so it was that moment that sparked that passion and that vision for Ruth to just make dance available to all children in our community, and to make sure that our stages reflect anybody who's watching from the audience.
They do a Nutcracker every year, and the Nutcracker has all colors, all body types, everybody doing the same dance.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So we're very proud of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
you. I love it.
Well, we have a minute and 46 seconds. I just wanted to say thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And just again to really reiterate how important the arts is for parents to really get your kids into art as quickly as possible, no matter what it is, the performing arts, the visual arts, and aerial arts and dance and and a lot of those things. Like, for instance, we talk about the ballet and how it's going to contribute to your math, the math program that the trust has funded.
Well, I was just gonna say that we are just two of hundreds of organizations that the Children's Trust is behind, and we, I'm sure, are all of us, or I can speak on behalf of everybody. We're so
Yeah.
grateful in their investment in the community.
Thank you, Children's Trust.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And all families can go on their website, and we're all listed there. There's
Yeah.
all types of programs, and so the community should really take advantage.
So, website?
Childrenstrust.org.
No, your website.
Oh, armourdance.org.
.org.
Armourdancetheater.org.
ArmourDanceTheater.org. Of course, I know that. And
10northgroup.com.
.com, which just became 10 North
North
Group,
Group.
like literally right this second.
Right.
Wow.
So armourdancetheater.org, 10northgroup.com. Please look these organizations up. They are totally worthy. And thank you so much for bringing art into our communities and your beautiful faces here in the studio with Suzanne. And 2 weeks from now, on 31st of August, I have no idea who my guest is going to be, but it'll be somebody, and I'll be here trying to make it work. Peace.